I see three things happening with the diagnosis of cancer. One, the question, why to me? Two, what is to be done next? And three, will I survive? These are three common questions the woman or family members can have. And if as a gynecologist practicing for 23 years, if I share my experience, breaking a diagnosis is a very, very tricky art. I personally believe that the person who is affected need to know the diagnosis, connecting them well on compassionate level of emotional history taking, giving them that faith and trust into medicine, into Almighty and the treating doctor makes a lot of sense. And when it comes to the health economics, they need to know different kind of options available for their management. And when we talk to them about management option, it includes available therapy, available places for getting treatment, and the different kind of expenditure involved in this kind of therapy at various places. When we guide them with the clear instruction, the clarity of information, and the concise information, it will help them a lot to come to a decision. If we talk about, say, the basic screening test for cervical cancer, pap smear, the pap smear is a test which is being done since many, many years, even in government system. But unfortunately, if we look at the Indian population, the pap smear screening is not even crossing 10% amongst rural women. And if you go to urban or rural, the difference is very less. Say out of 10 rural women, if you ask them whether you have got a pap done or not, hardly you will get 1, 2 or 3 women. Whereas it has been available free of cost under the National Cancer Control Program, NCCP, that started in year 1975.
My God, those are...
But the societal conditioning is, mere ko koi taklif nahi hai, I don't have any complaint, why to go to a doctor? So the second thing is, if you look at the rural setup and the urban setup, the urban setup has a little higher level of use of health checkup profiles. And that ratio is between 10 to 15% at various places to get the pap smear done, which is a screening test. This test can pick up the diagnosis of cervical cancer even before it starts actually as a cancer, meaning thereby it can pick up the pre-cancerous condition.
Right.
Now, what next comes next, I would say. But breaking the diagnosis or declaring the diagnosis, and when I get a pap smear malignant cells there, I need to be comfortable first to talk about it as a healthcare provider. The healthcare provider must be well equipped with the current knowledge of management, therapy, and options. And the family member also need to be taken into confidence, because ultimately it is just not one diagnosis or one referral to the gynec-oncologist, but it's a series of multidisciplinary approach. How? I'll tell you in brief. One, if as a practicing gynecologist, I could get a pap smear test positive of my patient, I immediately need to explain them. And in my office, I used to talk to them with all the visuals, body part is affected and what is to be done. So a proper counseling is one, which is at my end. Number two, what is the probable stage of this patient? Whether this seems to be CIN, means the cervical intraepithelial neoplasia, or on clinical finding or on sonography finding, we can always come to know more about the disease spread. So the second discipline that needs to be involved is imaging science, and that is radiologist. They will perform ultrasound, they may get done CT scan or MRI in cases when needed. Number three, if it's a well-spread disease, and if it requires an oncosurgeon to take lymph node sampling, then in my surgery, my operation theater surgery process for that patient, we have to have that teammate of an onco part. So it's one more part. If that patient goes well during surgery, after that, the specimen which was sent to the laboratory, one more discipline added is a pathologist to give us the correct diagnosis of staging, which is PNM staging. And when that diagnosis comes, we decide together whether this patient will need a chemotherapy or radiotherapy or both. And there comes two more discipline inside. One is oncologist, oncophysician to give chemo, and a radio-oncologist who will give radiotherapy. And throughout this, the constant companion first clinically treating person is a gynecologist, the family members, and a nutritionist. They are part of this team. So I guess it's more than a dozen people who can put cumulative effort for that patient to sail through the journey of cancer with much more hope, faith, and trust.